Welcome into Mile High Territory. Ryan Spilborghs, he's Troy Renck. Happy belated 4th of July weekend. Rockies had a crazy series against the Giants. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the difference of a local broadcast versus a national broadcast. If you watched the game on Sunday, curious Troy's take, and then of course the big news, which is Hunter Goodman is an All-Star for the second consecutive year. So a lot to talk about. Troy, how are you? How was your weekend?
It was not bad. Fourth wasn't great with the Bulldog Bentley. He was not scared by the fireworks. He was at war with the fireworks from about 7:30 till midnight. But all good, man. Trying to just keep a low profile here for until Broncos camp gets full steam. So how about you?
It was great. I mean, my family was coming back from Florida, so I've shared, like, I love 4th of July at Coors Field. I mean, I looked for tickets. Some buddies are asking, like, "Hey, can you get us some seats for Saturday night?" I was like, "Yeah, let me take a look." There was no seats available. There was like I had no chance of getting a ticket. There was no seats available. And I go back to, like, as a player, I'd come down on the field with my family when my kids were small. So I got like pictures of Kiara when she was really young, and then when they get older, and then Kiara and Tatum, and then as they got older. And then I was hoping on Saturday that they would want to come because now they're teenagers. I was like, "Hey, let's update the photo." They decided not to. It's also crazy because the grounds crew tells me this all the time. Did you know that a lot of fans that come onto Coors Field during the 4th of July, they may or may not drop their Nana and dump them on Coors Field, the ashes? Like, it happens a lot. It happens
Really? Not
every year. And the grounds crew says, like, the worst part that I hate to tell you is ashes destroy the grass. So, like, people dump ashes on the grass, like it actually kills the grass, and the grounds crew has to come and grab the ashes and put it where.
How can they tell it's ashes just because that grass is so perfect? They see any little.
It just burns it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you dump ashes on grass, it burns the grass. So then the grounds crew has to replace it. There's a burn mark. Yeah,
I know that some fans did that on the ice at Bowl Arena before the Stanley Cup run. They did that, but I didn't hear that it burned through the ice. I'm not familiar with that. I know, Graz is the best. Like, people, I say this, how would you know? I was telling you, if he's not the best, he's in the top 5 every year. But I did not know that. I mean, I get why people will do it, but I guess it gives them away. They tell on themselves right away, right?
Yeah. Well, it's specific to the grass. This weekend for the Rockies, it was fantastic. Hunter Goodman was announced on Saturday in the afternoon to a second consecutive All-Star game. And what was cool about this, Troy, is the person that made the announcement for Hunter Goodman's All-Star was Brett Sullivan. So the Rockies' backup catcher, who has turned into quite the character. Paul DePodesta and Josh Burns, they swear by Brett Sullivan because when the team wins, so when the Rockies win a game, there is a hero of the game. So I didn't have this as a player where, like, we all gather around. We usually always play the song, right? Like, we had in 2009, it was the Black Eyed Peas, the Boom, Boom, Boom. That song was like our post-game win. We might have like a quick thing, "Hey, John did it, Troy," and then we play our song. The way that the Rockies do it now is Brett calls everybody in, says exactly what the guy did, and then the whole team goes crazy. And they actually have a bullseye, and you get 3 shots at the bullseye. And if you hit the bullseye, there's like something to win on that one. And then the whole team goes crazy. I know things have changed, Troy. Things have changed. So Troy's the one that. So Brett is the one that announces that Hunter Goodman is going to be the All-Star, and it was really cool. It was cool. Usually you see the manager or somebody else, but like the fact that it's the backup catcher that's turned into this really important pivotal role is the one that shares the news with Hunter Goodman.
I've heard this about him, that he's a vibes guy. You hear this in locker rooms now, like, "Oh, he's a vibes guy." You got to be able to play. You have to have a certain level of competence to be in the big leagues. There's a lot of vibes guys, but I would have considered you a vibes guy, but you are a really good player. I think sometimes you being a vibes guy overshadowed how good of a player you were. But you need vibes guys in a 162 game season in baseball because of the failure that's baked in. I think that might be a little over the top with like basically a carnival and a presentation after a win. I think when they start winning a lot more games, they might do something as simple as like you said, hey, here's our best player, and then turn up the music because you're winning a lot more games. But I like the idea because it's clearly created a camaraderie with this group. There's a closeness to this group that's developing. That's important. Talent is paramount, but that's important. And I did not know that. But I didn't know. It's funny you said that because when they showed it on social media, I was like, "Who is this dude?" I didn't know who it was. I honestly didn't know who it was. I'm not out there that much anymore. I mean, I watch all the games, but I'm not out there. And I was like, "Who is this dude?" So good for them for doing it that way. Great for Goodman. I mean, he was an obvious choice. I love the fact that it's obvious and like you don't feel like the Rockies are getting some kind of baseball's version of charity by getting one representative, a pitcher with a 5.8 ERA that, oh, we got to get somebody in. Good for Goodman. Good for the way that it's all played out. Because I love the fact guys get into it and have fun with baseball because of the nature of the season. So I do think it might be a little over the top. And I think if you had tried that, Spilly, Matt or Todd might have put you in a choke lock that knocked you out for about 6 or 7 days. You said, we're not only going to play a music, we're going to have this darts contest and we're going to have Bobby for Apple. It just feels like just a little much, but I love the spirit of it.
Yeah, it's not quite the carnival, but it's the winner of the game or the player of the game gets a shot at the jackpot, which is the bullseye. So trust me, there's some it's worth hitting the bullseye if you hit the bullseye. Now, in the case of Hunter Goodman, wants to be in the home run derby. Him and his dad have been practicing at Coors Field. They've been out there. Old man's throwing him BP. Hunter's hitting bombs. Nobody's asked him yet, but we assume that they're going to because he's hit 27 home runs, and 18 of those are on the road. 9 of those are at Coors Field. He's going to do great in a home run derby. Could you imagine throwing to your son in a home run derby at the All-Star game? How cool that would be.
It'd be unbelievable. And I say that because the one thing I miss coaching. I do miss coaching, but not like enough to do it. But the thing I miss the most is throwing BP to my sons, including Brady, my youngest. I was throwing BP to him up and through his 5th year of college a lot when he's home. And we had access to a cage where we're like, okay, it's 9 o'clock at night. Let's go over there and hit. It's 10 in the morning. Let's go hit. I love throwing BP. It's funny. I learned how to throw better BP from Jamie Quirk when he was with the Rockies with you guys because my arms started to get sore. I was throwing to teams all the time. We're in tournaments. And I told him one time, I was like, my arm's hanging. And he's like, how are you throwing it? And I was like, well, come and set. He's like, what are you doing? You just get square to the plate and you're literally throwing darts. Obviously, you got to scoot up a little bit. And as my son got older and, ultimately D1 competition, we had to scoot up to where I can, mimic some velocity. But I love throwing BP. And I think kids will tell you this. And I rarely boast about many things. I do think I throw a good BP. Kids, I've gotten kids hot before. I've literally gotten kids hot before a game. Like, you need to get hot. You need to get going. Come in here. I'll throw you BP. It's flat and it's fat. And get them going. Like, I always felt like, I don't know about you, BP is to build confidence. You feel enough in the game. I watch coaches all the time, Spilly, college, high school. They're literally like trying to strike guys out. Like, hey, Peter Pan, your career's over. What the hell are we doing? We're building confidence here. I need the guy to hit. I know he's not hitting the game. I don't need him to see he can't hit me and BP. So I would love it. It would be weird though, without the turtle, without the cage. I know everybody that's ever done it, whether it's Harper's dad or anyone, they're like, the visual is weird. The depth perception of not having the turtle or a cage can freak you out. So I could see that taking an adjustment, but I'm rapid fire, man. I'm like, let's go. I would love it.
Yeah. Well, it's wild that you say so. There are some teams out there that are trying to make batting practice as hard as possible. The Marlins are a great example. They don't even throw. If you go to the Marlins minor leagues, they're not throwing batting practice. There's not even tees. They want to hit. They want hitting to be really difficult. And it kind of works for them. But at the same time, whatever happened to just like letting it fly, trying to like target practice when you're hitting, like that's what you should be doing, is controlling the barrel. But I did have Bob McClure when I was in AAA, Colorado Springs. Bob McClure ended up having, he ended up leaving the Rockies, and he was with the Kansas City Royals, the Boston Red Sox, won a World Series there. Bob was
the Phillies, I think.
Phillies.
Great pitching coach. Great
pitching coach. He was a lefty that would teach guys cutters, and like would extend their careers. If you had Bob McClure and you're a lefty, you're going to pitch 8-10 years because he was that good at teaching how to throw a cutter. But in Bob McClure, when he would throw us batting practice, he would spin you. He would try to like speed you up, slow you down, drop like he was trying to break your bat. And then at the end, if you raked him, like on occasion, I would hit the junk out of him during batting practice. And he was like, now the game's going to be easier for you, Spilly. Because like my hardest BP was Bob McClure. It was impossible to hit. And now he goes, now the game's going to be easier. And there's some fact to it. He was actually kind of right.
It's funny. So you might remember this. I just don't know if it intersected when you were playing. There was a time Barry Bonds hired his own BP pitcher who literally in full windup and was throwing gas like a pitcher. And he had a couple dudes because your arm gets sore. Like if you're pitching like that, it's literally like a bullpen session. It's like you're letting it eat. And he had his own guy, and then other guys, well, I want to use him. He's like, of course, it's Barry. No, you can't use him. It's my guy. But in defense of him, like the guy would only have so many bullets because he's literally pitching. But he had his own guy, so he was throwing. I remember one day watching it at AT&T, wherever the hell they call that park now. This dude's throwing legit like 85 miles per hour in BP. It's, and he's not, I don't remember if he was on the mound or not, but he was braining it. It's funny because like what McClure's saying is not wrong. I just think there's got to be a nuance to it because if you're like in a 1 for 25 or 1 for 20, do you really want to face a guy in BP that's trying to get you out?
No,
I wouldn't think so.
It would piss me off.
Right. I mean, like, dude, I'm getting out every night. I don't need you punking me in BP at 4:30 in the afternoon. Like, I have enough issues when the lights go on. This is me thinking. I could be wrong. I didn't play in the big leagues. I threw a lot of BP from, when my kids were 5, 6 years old until my youngest was 23. So I probably legit threw 18, 19 years of batting practice. And my whole thing was build confidence. Get this guy feeling like he is invincible by the time he goes up there. Now, I will say this with my oldest son, when he got into college, to your point, we would say, okay, this is game-like, where I would spin my version of a curveball. I'd throw like a circle change. Like, we're like, okay, this isn't at bat. Again, my stuff's not great, but it was literally, okay, it's a 2-0 count. It's a 1-2. So I'd throw stuff to just at least mimic trying to speed him up and slow him down. I just didn't have the stuff. But that was a very small part of Laser Show. I want you to feel great when you walk out of here. Not like, geez, my dad just got me out for an hour. Like, that's not good.
All right, so let's get into some of the stuff with the Rockies and the All-Stars, because only one All-Star for the Rockies. Antonio Senzatella probably could have been in the discussion, but it's also, hard with the multi-leverage, multi-inning reliever. Mickey Moniak, I really wanted him to get a crack at this one just because it's where he was drafted back in 2016. For Mickey, he was, almost tagged with them, like a giant bust of a first overall pick. And he's found a home in Colorado. He got hurt. Otherwise, I think he probably has 20, 24 homers and, putting up great numbers. But give me a sense for you, Troy, like, since you do write so much, does it ever get frustrating that Rockies players don't get the recognition for being good baseball players? Or does it feel like it is what it is?
It did, especially when guys were deserving. I mean, there were years guys weren't deserving. It just bothered me because you lived it. You're the only team in the Mountain Time Zone. So it felt like this forgotten team. Like when the Rockies are bad, it's as if they didn't exist in Major League Baseball. And my frustration would start where a controversy would happen, Rockies versus Padres, a late game in Denver, say it's a rule interpretation or whatever, or, the stupid batting, the 18 batting gloves and all that. And people are like, that's stupid. It's the Rockies complaining. Then I would watch it on Sunday Night Baseball with the Yankees and Red Sox, the same exact play. And within a week, Major League Baseball was like changing the rules. Because, oh my God, did you see what happened to the Yankees and Red Sox? The injustice of it all. I'm like, yeah, it happened 2 weeks ago in Colorado. But that's not big league baseball, apparently. That stuff drove me crazy. But there were times, as a writer, it puts you in an uncomfortable position because I'm not working for the team. But I felt like there were times I kind of had to advocate for a Matt Holliday or a Tulo or a Todd Helton, like Larry Walker. Can we take a look here? Because the ignorance over Coors Field got really old post-Humidor. But pre-Humidor, I get there was no gravity. It was baseball on the moon. It was stupid. I covered it from 96 through. I get it. But post-Humidor, there's other parks now that are very hitter-friendly, whether it's, Great American Small Park, Yankee Stadium 314 down the line, Ranger. There's been 5 or 6 parks that are placed similarly.
Houston's
a joke.
Place to hit unless you hit it to center field and you're out.
And when you were, I went back and saw the highlight of you catching that one where they used to have the hill there.
Oh yeah, Towns Hill.
To even think they had that now is like they're just begging for like someone to tear their ACL. And you made a great catch up on that hill one game I was covering. It's probably with Guthrie pitching because it was just absolute laser show. Poor Jeremy. But my point was always that like Rockies get no respect, and then it's like, oh well, it's got to be Coors. Even with Hunter Goodman, you see it. Oh, it's Coors Field. Of course, it's like the dude's hitting 223 at home with 9 home runs. He's got 18 home runs on the road. That's a great season on the road for home runs. How many guys typically hit 20 plus home runs on the road now in baseball?
Not a lot.
What, 10? 10 maybe?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Not to get to 20 on the road. That's ridiculous. I mean, Jordan will get to 20 on the road. Ohtani will hit 20 on the road. Maybe Schwarber will hit 20, but that's it. It's like 5.
That's what I'm saying. And the guy's got 18 right now in 91 games total. But I mean, how many are in the road? 45, whatever that number is. So to answer your question, yes, it would get old. When they came to the World Series and everyone was like, oh my God, baseball on the moon. This is the dumbest thing. Like, they came into existence in 93. Like, come on, people. It gets a little old, this idea that, baseball in the Rockies is somehow illegitimate. I mean, and then you'd see Matt go hit somewhere. Todd could hit anywhere. And guys get Sean Chacon, go to the Yankees and win 11. It's like, come on now. That stuff got really old. There were guys that were Coors Field creations.
Sure.
Maybe Perez, Todd Hollandsworth. I mean, I could go through the list of guys who had years at Coors that would never put those numbers up anywhere else. I get it. But there's nuance here too. There's nuance. And with Goodman, it's not even nuance. Just look at his home road splits.
990 OPS on the road as of 2 days ago, which was the highest for any catcher in baseball by a large margin. And then he's in like the top 5 for road OPS. All right, so this weekend, kind of crazy weekend when it comes to Coors Field. It was hot. So we saw back-to-back 14 runs or more scored by the Rockies on Thursday. And then on Friday, it's only the 4th time in Coors Field history that's happened. And then on Sunday, if you had a chance to watch this game, it was Dave Fleming and Hunter Pence calling the game. Dave is one of the best play-by-play voices in the game. I've had the pleasure of working with him in the International World Series feed for the last 3 years. I love Dave, but it was funny in that Peacock had all the games on Sunday. So every game in Major League Baseball, it was like a Sunday spectacular. It was on Peacock. And the game yesterday, or the game on Sunday, was won with a Kyle Karros 3-run home run against the Giants, where Dave and Hunter are the broadcast for. And it wasn't take a good look. You won't see this for long. And what's always crazy to me is like I get to do these national games on Friday. So now I totally understand what fans are feeling when their team wins. And they don't hear their guys calling the game. They're like, who the hell is calling my game? I get it now. I actually get it now after this weekend.
Yeah, because baseball, and I think I've told you this, because I've covered football, baseball now both for a long time, but baseball is a romance. Football is a one-night stand. I mean, it's just the violence, the gambling. Baseball is a romance. Like, you fall in love with it. And part of it is the soundtrack of baseball, the play-by-play guys, the voice. So you have Jack Now Zach, I mean, how old do I feel? Zach, he played summer baseball for me, Drew's son. But Drew and the near crew of you and Corey and Jeff, you get that. That's part of it. It literally is like baked into the experience are the voices and that sound like you turn on the channel and you know which team you're watching. And not in every market, but you know what I mean. Certainly back in the day with Ernie Harwell or Vince Scully. But yeah, you're watching a Rockies game, and I was pissed because I couldn't get the game and I get MLB extra innings, and I couldn't. The whole package was blacked out except Dodgers, Padres, and Braves, Mets, which went into a rain delay. I think it was Braves, Mets. So I couldn't even get the game. So I was listening on radio or watching on highlight, but I couldn't even get the game. And then I'm like, what the hell? Because I get extra innings, MLB extra innings, and it's like, oh, all games are on Peacock today. And the funny thing is, I had Peacock for the NFL because they do one NFL game, but I dropped it because their programming was so bad. I didn't watch anything else on Peacock. It's like when someone says, "Oh, that's a hit on Peacock." I'm like, "Oh, there's the one person that watches Peacock," because I would watch it. There was nothing I ever saw. There's this Yankees program about the '90s Yankees being this huge embarrassment. That was like the last thing I watched on Peacock, and there was nothing else. Like, oh, Dateline. I'm like, Dateline's on like 7 channels right now on regular cable. So anyway, I didn't see it. At least they're competent, because a lot of times when they do these broadcasts, Rich Eisen, I like the new podcast he does on YouTube, but like Rich Eisen on the London games, he's not a play-by-player, and he's terrible at it. Like, it's bad enough when it's not even your team or the regular guys, but they're not good at it. Fleming's he's been doing this
one of the best. Yeah, Fleming's one of the best.
Yeah, he's right. And Hunter's funny as hell. I didn't hear him, but I've heard him. He's funny. But you're right. My issue is more with really block out the whole schedule for Peacock to try to get them like 18 subscriptions. Like, stop. Like, no. And I've had this issue because NBA this year, they went like the first 8 games of the playoffs were on Amazon Prime. They were all on subscription. And the first game on regular ABC was like the 8th game of the NBA playoffs. I'm like, can you bleed us at every level? Like, what? I mean, you nickel and dime me everywhere. Do I need 7? I mean, I get I'm the old guy screaming at the clouds, but do I need 7 subscriptions to watch my team?
No, you don't need them. And it's, I mean, you and I will eventually start getting into some of the CBA stuff and some thoughts when it comes to local media versus a national media TV rights deal, because that's what Major League Baseball is hoping for. And in 2 years is like this giant national TV rights deal, which that's supposed to be in 2028. They got to get their stuff together so we don't have a stoppage of baseball next year. But I'm just curious, like, when we get this model the right way, what's the best version of the model? But it is crazy that this weekend, especially after I've done these Apple games for 4 years, I felt like I was on the other side of it as one of those fans, which I've never been that way. I'm like, I kind of missed hearing Drew. Said nobody ever, except for us today. All right, Troy, that's going to do it for us today. Rockies getting ready to take on the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Final week of baseball before the All-Star break. So that is exciting for the Rockies. Rockies are playing much, much better. 3-1 in the month of July. So we'll take that.
They're on pace now for 66 wins. Still got a long way to go, but that would be a 23-game improvement over last season. It's amazing what happens when you put people in position of leaderships that are competent to make decisions. And I'm not going to say it stays there because they're going to make some trades, but seriously, I mean, people are like, oh, they're still going to lose. Like, they're on a 23-game win improvement. Holy crap, folks. They didn't pull the Titanic up with your boat over at Chatfield Reservoir. Give it a little time here.
That's right. Give it a little time. Thanks for today, Troy.
See ya.